Let's upgrade my stock Tacoma skid plate with this. Okay, this weighs a lot more than the last one. I can't hold it with one hand. This is the Cali raised skid plate. I'm gonna be throwing this on my truck and walking you guys through it. Let's hop into this. To start off the install, you're gonna need a ratchet, a 12mm socket, a 13, and a 17, and some Allen wrenches, and an impact. You don't really need an impact. I'm just using it because I'm lazy. You'll get by just fine with that. And that's about all you need. It's going to be a pretty easy install, I'm hoping. And you know, I'm probably going to regret saying that, to be honest. Step one, we got to get this ready by installing the plate right here. I'm going to grab that. It goes on there just like that. We use this plate here to cover up the oil, so I don't have to take off this whole entire thing here. I only have to take off this little guy to get to my oil filter housing. And then with the provided screws, go ahead and throw them in. Next step, grab your 13mm socket, and we're gonna take the original skid plate off. I just have the stock TRD Sport one. And I'm gonna use the impact because I'm lazy. It's stuck. It's actually stuck. What? With the stock skid plate removed, we now need to remove these kind of brackets right here. I don't know exactly what they're called. We got to remove these. There's a bolt here, a bolt back there, 2 bolts up front, and 1 bolt back there. Do not lose the bolts when you take them off because they will be used to hold the new skid plate up. Grab your size 17 socket and go ahead and remove that. You might need to use a breaker bar. I don't know how heavily torqued these are. That is one of the brackets removed. You see there's actually 3 in it. 2 of them were in the back. I thought there was only 1. I forgot a tool you guys are most likely going to end up needing if you're installing this skid plate right here. So as you see, they got these indents, or I don't even know what you want to call it, but you're going to need to go through the bottom and run a bolt into this. You're going to need an extension to do that. I have this really big one. It's the first one I found. You don't need that big of one, but I just hope it works and it doesn't get in the way. But extension, gonna need one. So with us being only 2 people, Ashley behind the camera and me doing this stuff, kind of hard to hold this. This is it's very heavy. It's no joke. So I was trying to do it with one hand and get everything aligned, sitting on my belly. Too much, too heavy. So we went and got my jack, and I just ended up jacking it up just to help me get something to hold it so I can get these bolts started here. And that's kind of the process. To show you this next part, sorry if the wind's loud, it's kind of whipping underneath the truck here. It utilizes the stock locations if you have an off-road. Man, super hard to show you guys, sorry. If you have an off-road, it uses the stock bolt locations for that back skid plate. Since mine is TRD Sport, I only had that front part. I didn't have that back mid part right here. To use those locations, they give you a little spacer that needs to go up in there, in between there. It's kind of a pain, but using the jack and only half putting the bolts in so I have enough room to wiggle around gives me enough room to be able to fit that in there. I'm curious to see if the cat shield here is going to be a problem. All right guys, all in all, pretty easy install. Got all the bolts here tightened up. Looks pretty good. I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about the skid plate here in a couple minutes, but I wanted to show you it did not interfere with the cat guard at all. See if I can show you that. Looks pretty awesome. All right, I just got the install all done, super easy. I hope I kind of explained it as best I can. I have a terrible time explaining things while I'm working on it. It's just kind of hard for me, but I hope I showed you guys. So I wanted to talk about why I went with this skid plate, give you a little bit more details, you know, a little backstory. So I had a few key things I was looking for in a skid plate. As you guys always know, budget is a big thing for me. The Cali Raise is pretty budget friendly. It's expensive. It's like $450. I think it's on sale right now, actually. But it's expensive, but it had free shipping. So if I looked at the CBI one or any of the other ones, I was going to have like almost $1,000 into getting a skid plate shipped here that I wanted. Budget, number one. Number two, is I wanted it to cover that mid area. So I didn't just want a front skid plate, I wanted it to cover the mid area. So it had to be pretty long. And number 3, I wanted to have the little door to get to my oil. I didn't want to have to remove the entire skid plate anymore to get to the oil filter housing. That sucks, super annoying. So this is a little bit easier for me to change my oil now. The last reason why I went with Cali rays is because I wanted a steel option. The reason why I went with steel is because they're a little bit stronger, and if you get stuck on a rock, say you saddlebag and you're on a rock, aluminum, you're gonna get kind of stuck there because it digs in. Steel kind of slides a little bit. You have more of a chance of kind of sliding off rocks, and that's kind of what I wanted underneath the truck. All in all, pretty good product. I did pay for this with my own money, just to give you guys a heads up. I have no affiliation with Cali rays, but really good skid plate, super thick and very heavy. Easy install. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you have been looking at skid plates, if you have an aftermarket one on your truck, what one you went with. If you have any interest in them, or you think the stock one's good enough for you, just let me know. Love hearing from you guys. Hit a like button, hit a subscribe button. It means a ton to me. The truck is coming together. It is almost done. We have some added protection now for Ashley and I when we're adventuring around the country. We're getting closer and closer to that goal of driving around the country and exploring and bringing you guys with us. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. Check this video out right here. It's pretty good. See ya.